Hello everyone!
And welcome to our third episode of the road trip. We have taken you already from Germany through Austria and Slovenia, and the last video was about Zadar in Croatia. And in this video, you will visit with us
Split and
Dubrovnik. Enjoy!
Before arriving Split, we made a quick stop just beside the Krka National Park, just for a few minutes to enjoy the view, since it wasn't a big detour.
We paid the highway to go from Zadar to Split, which was around €7.40, but from Split to Dubrovnik we took the national road and didn't pay any toll. Hi everyone, today we are gonna visit Split. We just have a few hours, so not much time. We just cross by and say, okay, when we're already here we're gonna visit the city. Now we got some food and we're gonna take you with us. We got another bird egg, but this time it's with meat, right?
Yeah. So I've got meat burek today. One burek a day keeps the doctor away. And Foca got just a slice of pizza.
A very big slice of pizza.
Split is actually the second largest city of Croatia after Zagreb. It's the biggest one on the coast. And the traffic was okay. It's low season anyway, so we could find a paid parking, and it's only 70 cents per hour.
So actually a lot of people are staying in Split and are taking it like a hub. So here you can see all the boats and the ferries. So you can basically go to the islands that are close by. You could maybe even go to Dubrovnik. So therefore a lot of people are just staying here and making their holidays here in Split and then take a boat to see something else. You also have some tuk-tuks that can take you anywhere if you want to. And although it's low season, it's already pretty full. Lots of restaurants outside, lots of cafes.
The main attraction of Split is Emperor Diocletian's Palace. Although called a palace, it's actually a massive complex containing the palace itself, the military garrison and other buildings. It occupies more or less 30,000 square meters. And still today, around 3,000 people live inside there. It has also converted into the old town of modern Split. The Emperor Diocletian voluntarily renounced his throne of the empire around the 4th century AD, and he decided to retire on the beach in Split.
Could be worse, yeah. So pretty here. These old buildings, super narrow streets.
We worked in a really nice cafe. It's called D16 with really fast internet, right?
Yes, very fast internet, and it seems like it's the co-working space here because everyone was there sitting quietly with their laptop working. Decided to take the national road instead of the highway that you have to pay toll fee, and I think it was a very good idea because now we have all of these beautiful views and can take a lot of nice footage. So I know that highway is actually not that expensive, so we paid from Zadar to Split €7.80, and I think it would have cost the same to go from Split to Dubrovnik. but I think if you have the time, you should definitely take these roads because they're actually pretty good. You have amazing views, but it will take a little longer, yes. What do you think?
The views are amazing, and I like the curves.
So did you know that actually there's a very small piece of Bosnia that is in the middle of Croatia? Like 5 years ago, when Lee was here the first time, he had to cross through Bosnia, but now apparently there's a bridge, and we don't have to cross through Bosnia, but we have to go on a small island, actually a Croatian island, to go around this part of Bosnia. So this is what we're gonna do now. The Pelješac Bridge was inaugurated in July 2022, and since then it's easier to cross through Croatia. So here you can see how we need to go on this island just to not cross here into Bosnia. And therefore the bridge looks super new and the whole street here.
Parked our camper here in a parking place. It was €2 per hour. Not too bad.
What you're getting when you want to go to Dubrovnik, and it's not even high season, it's low season or mid season. April. It's great. Here's nice. There's no one. You can see how narrow all these buildings were built, and also very steep everywhere, so nothing is flat. It's like everywhere. If you need to go up a little bit and it's a little bit exhausting, then there's no more people.
Dubrovnik, also known as Ragusa before, was an important maritime power, especially in the Adriatic Sea region. The old town, surrounded by its impressive limestone walls, is one of the most well-preserved fortified cities in Europe, and now it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Dubrovnik gained a lot of popularity thanks to the popular TV series Game of Thrones. It was used as the filming location for The King's Landing, which was the capital of the Seven Kingdoms in the TV series. And
nowadays a lot of tourists come to Dubrovnik and even take guided tours to see exactly where which scene was shot. port of Dubrovnik, or one of the ports. And here you can also get boat trips. I think it's very easy there. 3 or 4 ladies are selling it over there. And you can see also the old town wall, which is very famous. But right now it already costs like 30 euros for one person to be able to go up, and we didn't want to pay for it. So if you want to go, feel free. So as you can see, in adult costs 35 euros and the child 15. The parking situation here in Dubrovnik, as we already said before, is also a bit difficult. So we rather recommend you to go by bus and park outside, or you can park closely, like walking 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you can come inside. We pay like 2 euros per hour, and it's super packed. It's very packed, the city. But it's nice. It's still a nice old city, especially when you're a Game of Thrones fan. I think you will have a good time.
So the city, even before Game of Thrones, was already a quite famous tourist destination, and after the success of Game of Thrones, it just went crazy. You said Dubrovnik means oak tree in Russian, right?
Yes. So one of my colleagues, he speaks Russian, and when I told him that I'm gonna visit Dubrovnik, he told me how in Russian that means oak.
Oak.
Oak. We really hope that you enjoyed this week's episode.
But before finishing the video,
we actually wanted to give you a short summary about what we liked about Split, what we liked or disliked about Dubrovnik, and just to leave you with a good understanding about both cities and whether or not it's worth visiting. What did you think about Split?
I really enjoyed Split more than expected. Despite being the second largest city of Croatia, it wasn't so crowded, the traffic was more than okay, and the narrow streets and the seafront of the city was simply really nice, and we had a beautiful day there. What do you think?
Yes, I really liked Split as well. I actually preferred Split over Dubrovnik because it was less crowded, and also the internet in whole Croatia is pretty good. It's very important for me because we're working from home and I have to have a lot of meetings, right? So what do you think about Dubrovnik?
Well, the fortified citadel is beautiful. It's really well preserved, and the city is tidy and clean, and it really has its own charm, and I can understand why it's so popular. But I think part due to the success of Game of Thrones, the TV series, the city got so popular and is so packed. I think as historically it was a rival of Venice, nowadays it's still like as packed as Venice is. It feels somehow like a theme park, right?
Yes, I have the same feeling. I don't like places where there are too many people. When it gets too crowded, I feel like I cannot breathe. So, and it was only April, so it was too much for me. I'd still go to see it because when you're already in the area, it completely makes sense to go. But I would not just fly to Dubrovnik and stay there for a few days. But I think it's worth visiting. Also, there's a small surprise because we are actually jumping a little bit in our chronology. And next week you will already see one of our videos from Greece. Which one will we show?
So we'll directly jump to the Ionian Islands. We'll start from Corfu, our first island.
Exactly. So next week you can see already our first video of Corfu, and the weather is already very nice there, and it was already very nice. And
if you enjoyed the video, please have a look at our channel. There you can find more interesting destinations.
Yes, and subscribe our channel because that really helps us.
And don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
And the notification bell, and follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much, and see you next week.
See you next week.